So at the heart of the family, in many family structures, we have the couple relationship. And whether there are children or whether it's the two of you living at home, for the partners of survivors of brain injury, there can be a really profound impact on the state of mind, the mental health, the emotions, the quality of life of the non-injured partner. Many partners of survivors have to go significant change themselves, as they may have to forego aspects of their professional life, working roles to care for a survivor, or indeed may have to take on additional jobs and work roles to manage family finances. At the same time, the brain injury survivor may feel like a different person to their partner. They may not feel like the same person that partner has loved and lived with and known for the years before. Many non-injured partners describe an experience of feeling like they're living with a stranger, or living with Jekyll and Hyde, or the relationship feeling alien or different. And there can be significant levels of conflict and argument in couple relationships following brain injury. And so there's conflict, loss of someone who was once the person who may have been closest to you than anyone else in your life. And alongside that, a breakdown and strain on relationships around you. So this ripple that we've been talking about extending out and leaving the couple isolated from other members of the family over time. So this can be a huge, profound set of challenges: financial, loss of identity, loss of roles within the family, the breakdown in closeness and intimacy in the couple's relationship. And many partners of survivors can describe feeling increasing levels of anxiety, depression, trauma, burden. And these psychological needs can increase as time goes on, particularly years 2 to 5 post-injury. And whereas the survivor is the main focus of professional support within a neurorehabilitation program, partners are often left to manage their experiences themselves, and maybe seeking support in primary care with a general practitioner, or managing feelings through support through antidepressant medication, or talking therapies or counselling from services that aren't focused on the impact of a brain injury on a couple or a family. So the distress of partners is often kind of farmed off to different sources of support, sometimes very little opportunities for support, whereas the survivor undergoes their main rehabilitation journey. So for partners, it can be really difficult. The other family members that are often in the fallout zone of the rock hitting the lake as the force of the ripple emanates out are child relatives. So where mum or dad has a brain injury, and child relatives of all ages struggle to understand what's happened and experience how their life has been turned upside down. Maybe mum or dad is different now, acts in a way that can be really difficult. Maybe behavioural communication difficulties, maybe physical difficulties mean that kids can't play the games or the leisure activities they enjoyed with their mum or dad post-injury, and that can be a source of sadness and loss for both the survivor and the child. And making sense of brain injury is difficult for anyone. No one is born with a DIY manual on how to make sense of the counterintuitive and strange consequences of brain injury. Adults struggle with that, let alone children. But children, like any other human being, have a need to make sense and intentionally accord meaning to their experiences. So this can be a really difficult struggle, and depending on the age of the child is going to need to find different ways to understand the impact of the brain injury. And again, children are often not the main focus of support in a brain injury programme. So the distress of a child where mum and dad has had a brain injury may show itself in school or lead to referrals to the children's mental health services. And again, these arenas may not have the brain injury focus to understand or respond to the unique challenges of a brain injury in a parent or a child. And research has shown that the adjustment of a child can predict the outcome of rehabilitation for the survivor. So it's really important that children are involved where possible in a survivor's journey going forward after a brain injury.